So, hi Thibault, how are you doing?
Hi, nice to meet you. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you very much for being here in our Meet Our Hivers with the interviews that we do for Digital One-to-One. So, first question. Do you usually leave good or bad reviews when you go to a restaurant or a shop you like?
Well, it really depends. I think it really depends with the experience. Whenever the experience is fantastic, I leave very good reviews and I try to describe as much as possible. I tend not to leave bad reviews, except if the experience is really terrible. So I would say more good reviews than bad reviews.
Because I have this feeling, I don't know why, that I leave more bad reviews than good reviews sometimes. Because it's like I don't want people to like really be in this restaurant because it's really if it's really bad. I mean, if it's average,
Yeah.
no. But if it's like really disastrous, I just like guys.
I think it was the case before. Like whenever review just started, people were letting bad reviews rather than good ones, and then Google sent notification to people. Whenever you leave a store, you sometimes receive a notification, especially on Android phones, telling, "Hey, you were in that store. Can you give a review?" And then this is the moment where good reviews started to really boom. And now I think the split is more people give much more good reviews than bad one. I think.
Actually, it's true because I usually leave like now more good reviews than bad ones. Or like maybe when they ask, you just give like okay 3 stars just in case. And I don't remember, but nah. But if it's really good, it's true that I used to. Ah, that's true. So you started a company while you were at university still. What were you studying?
I was in a business school, so basically I was studying a lot of stuff. It was pretty general, but whenever I joined the business school, before I used to study finance. I did a master in finance, and whenever I joined this business school in France, my idea was to create my company because this business school was pretty famous for its incubator and the help it could provide to entrepreneurs to develop their own business.
And how did you come with the exact idea for Partoo?
Uh, well, I had a marketing course, and the teacher asked us to do a marketing study about independent store. And in that occasion, I met one guy named Serge that owned a restaurant just near Paris, and I just asked him question about how he was dealing with his business on internet, etc. He answered, and at the end of the discussion, he asked me if I could come back maybe one afternoon soon to help him upload pictures of his restaurant online because he had a blue restaurant. He painted it in pink and he wanted everybody to know it, but he didn't know how to do that. So I went maybe, I don't know, a week after to spend an afternoon with him. And I tried to do the upload on all the website I could. And this is at that moment that I realized that it was pretty difficult for a store to make sure to have just accurate information everywhere online, just to know where are the website very important for their business. And
Mhm.
also doing that update, it takes time. And this is when the idea of Part 2 popped up, like just a website where they can upload one information, so it's updated everywhere.
That's great. Actually, this is more like for the Spanish market than for the other markets that you guys are listening to us right now. But you were born as Partoo. Partoo was the name, but for a long time here in Spain, the name was Localoo.
Yeah.
Why it was Localoo and why we're coming back to the region like Partoo name?
Well, we whenever we launched Spain, it was in 2016. Part 2 has been created in 2014, and we wanted the name Part 2 to be used in Spain, but our country manager at that time tried it, and several people told him that it was close to Parto. I don't know if I spell it right, but which means giving birth in Spanish. And he asked us to change the name because of that. So we came to Localoo to keep the double
The
O at
double O, yeah.
the end. And now it's just more complex to have two brand names in terms of marketing, in terms of brand image, in terms of a lot of things. And we just did a little study to understand what would be the impact in Spain and in South America if we change the name from Localoo to Partout. And the impact was not negative, pretty positive. So we just decided to harmonize and have one unique name. And now it's much more convenient.
No, and actually, I think that it's good because one, you have like this story to tell the guys, like, yeah, guys, I know that it's kind of part of we did it, but at the end, we're the same thing. And actually, now you're also like better known that like in 2014, so it's
Yeah.
might even like less the impact like for Partoo or Localoo.
Yeah, now
Actually,
it's
like
much easier.
because actually in French it makes more sense Partoo than Localoo in Spanish. Local, oh, it works.
Yeah.
Of course, it works and it's cool. But the Partoo, the game of the word, it's like
Yeah, partout means everywhere basically. So yeah, in France, the principle of updating information everywhere is the play word is good. We are happy to find it. To have found it.
And talking about being everywhere, in 2015, if I'm not wrong, you took like a road trip for a seminar in Lyon, and then 2016 in Auvergne, and then you kept changing. What are Partoo seminars, and why are they so important?
Yes, it's that's part of the tradition at Partoo, and at sometimes we used to have two seminar of 1 week every year. Now it's more one seminar of 2 days every year with all the company because now we are a lot of people, so it's much more difficult to organize and more expensive as well. Yeah, but the whole point of the seminar is just I wanted to be in a company that I would love to work in, and for me working in a company, it's just about having colleagues. It's about being having the possibility to be very close to some colleagues and make them become friends. And seminar is just a moment to share good moments, having a lot of fun, and getting to know each other better. And I think it was very important at the very beginning at Partoo because it enabled us to create a group of very close friends. Most of them were at my wedding, for example, and then it just it builds the basis of the culture that we have at Partoo, which is be surrounded by nice people, simple people that care about each other, that like to spend time with each other and having fun. And yeah, I think it was very important, and it's still very very important for us.
Actually, right now you have, I guess, more like than 26 nationalities in the office, well, in
Yeah,
the company. How is the life with surrounded with so many different kind of cultures?
it's very very interesting because you see that the way people face a situation can be different with a nationality because of the cultural differences. But what is really astonishing, I think, is to see that despite the fact that some people live for 20 years in another continent, they are here, and they still share the same values that we have at Partoo. So we are the same, but with not the same history, the same past, and the same nationality and the same culture. But it's really cool to see that despite all those differences, there is one thing that we share in common, and yeah, I'm very proud of that.
How was the beginning of Partoo? Because now you're big, you have these 26 nationalities, but how was the beginning? How was these first months, these first years?
Um, Challenging. Yeah, those beginning was it's always very well, it was for us pretty challenging because we didn't. I think we identify a bridge on the market, and we wanted to solve the issue on that market, but who were our clients was not really really clear. What prices we should practice was not clear at all, neither. What kind of product we should define, neither. So it was a lot about testing and trying to find answer to major question progressively, but we didn't came up with the right answer at the beginning. And at the very beginning we started with independent stores in France. So we were doing a lot of prospection to independent stores, but at some point we just stopped because the level of maturity on the market was not here. Most of the stores were telling me, my client don't go on the internet to look for my business. So considering that, it was difficult to bring an answer to that question, and we changed that, and we then decided to work with big company, large enterprise like Carrefour, Burger King, Intermarché, etc. And I think at that moment we found our first clients, and then now we are both of them. We still have enterprise, big company that represents the majority of our revenues, but the parts related to independent store is growing and growing in France and in other countries. So yeah, but that's about finding answer progressively to sum up the answer I was trying to develop.
Yeah, actually, it's crazy how people in 2021, after COVID, with all the acceleration of the digital consumption for everything, there are still companies that you cannot find them. Like, they don't have Google Business, they don't have, and it's like, guys, are you kidding me?
Yeah, there are still some resistant.
Yeah, and actually, there's a Japanese restaurant, really good one in Barcelona, that I was looking for like some details the other day, and I couldn't find it, and I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
but it's progressively changing because Google, Instagram, Facebook, they buy databases from the public sectors that say basically whenever a company is created. So this is the reason why sometimes there are listings that just have very basic information, like just the address, the phone number, and that's it. It's most of the time because this listing is coming from a database that has been bought by Google. But there are still some store that we don't know why they are not here, but it should be more and more rare, I would say.
yeah. What meant for the company the alliance with Webedia? Did I say it wrong? Or Webedia?
I think it was about international growth. Webedia is, I think they are in 20 countries, something like that.
Mm.
And we were really willing to develop internationally. We identified that there was a need for our product in every market that we tested, but international growth is pretty tricky. So having their support with their experience, with their salespeople present locally to distribute our solution, um, plus having the legal identity, so we don't have to create a company in Brazil, for example, that we can use their company, was pretty convenient to us. So that's one point. And I think the second point is about their clients. Like Webedia, they have one of their activity is to provide marketing services to large company like Carrefour, Casino, and most of the time the people they talked with are marketing director or CEO of those companies. So having them at that time was a huge help to be able to talk to those guys. And I think the other point, last point, which was pretty important, is the financial aspect, which was we wanted to be able to grow without having to think about funding every 6 months or every 12 months. So we wanted to find a partner that could support us for the long term. And whenever we had a plan about growing, acquiring a company, for example, we could activate that partnership with Webedia pretty easily. And yeah, those all points were pretty essential to us.
Actually, last May, I read that you raised 15 million.
Yeah.
What are your short and mid-term plans? Because I never like the long ones. Just like, what's going on now?
So the plan of those 15 million, we named it the Apolo plan,
Yeah.
and it's based on three principles. First one is about product. What we are trying to be or to become is a trusted partner used by stores in the world to develop their business with internet. And to do that, the product that we currently offer is not enough in the midterm. So we need to bring additional functionalities so they have, one real partner to do most of the things they need to do online. And this is what we are trying to accomplish. Second aspect of this plan is to grow internationally. We are trying to open new countries. So it's directly from Paris. We have what we call international sales that explore different countries. And whenever we have a country that reach sufficient revenues, then we will hire a country manager that will develop our activity locally.
Mhm.
And the third aspect is SMBs, independent stores. As I was saying, we started with independent stores, then we just removed that and we focused on the enterprise market. And in 2019, we came back a little bit to the independent stores and it worked very well. And now we are trying to accelerate. So by 2025, we have approximately 50% of our revenues coming from the enterprise and 50% coming from the SMBs. And in 2025, the idea is to to have 1 million stores that use our technology.
Wow, that's a huge plan. I like it. um,
Ambitious.
yeah, but I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, if we have the chances, let's go for everything. No?
Yeah, sure, exactly. We identify that something is missing on the market, and I think our real conviction is that the trust between stores and software companies like Partoo is broken. You know, they all subscribe to a solution at some point, and they all have that feeling that they have been fooled.
Mm.
And what we are trying to do, you know, be their partner, their really trusted, their real trusted partner, to help us grow with the internet, which is something very difficult to do. And we think we are the only one on this market that are really into becoming a trusted partner for stores manager.
Yeah, actually, while seeking some information from you guys to prepare the interview, I saw that curiosity, fun, and empathy have been your company values from the beginning.
Yeah,
And now you added also like simplicity, impact, and high standards. And I think that it defines pretty much what you were saying about the need to connect with your customers, that also they need to connect with their customers too.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's we started with the first three value, which were pretty obvious whenever we defined them, because those were the values about who we were. Like, we wanted to have fun at work. We really cared about others, whether they were colleagues, partners, clients, and empathy was for that reason. And curiosity was because we were just, you know, very young, trying to learn and to explore, and we were just asking questions all the time, challenging stuff, etc. And at some point at the beginning of this year, we realized that the values are about who we are, but also who we want to become, who we hire, who we promote, and also who should not stay because it doesn't match with the value. So for us, fun, curiosity, and empathy were not enough, and it was necessary to bring high standards because, you know, we were expecting people at Partoo to trying to get better and better, always learn and challenge and improve. Simplicity is about several things, about the people, having simple people, humble people, but also the product, because we are trying to build a product for stores. And store managers, they are not really tech savvy most of the time, and most of all, they don't want to lose time trying to find how a product works. They want something very simple like an iPhone. And for us, simplicity is, you know, something we try to work on very hard to make the simple products possible. And the last one is about uh well,
Right.
impact. Yeah, sorry. Impact is because we want to be surrounded by people that really care about stores. We don't want to have people that just come at Partoo for the growth. Growth is good, but it should not be a reason to join Partoo. People should join Partoo because they care about stores or because they find something in their mission that is really interesting. Like, I don't know, create the simplest product possible, or really trying to help clients having the best experience possible, but having an impact and a meaning in their daily job is for us very, very important.
I think that the simplicity one is something that you really like get the thing, because there's so many amazing solutions that you have to spend like 15 hours to check their website to understand just a tiny little thing that what they're doing, because it's so techy. It's so, guys that you're listening, please stop being so techy. You can explain things in a simple way so everybody can understand it.
Exactly.
Because actually there are many, if for example, I guess, if you're looking for a really like if your target market and personas are guys who are really techy, go for it. But actually I think that you did it right to get into your customer shoes. If
Yeah,
you're running a shop, you don't have to know many words or technical words, because you know what you're doing, your target, your shop, your products. That's it.
my wife is she is an independent store manager because she is osteopath. So and
I can do
whenever
so
we
pretty much right now.
or you should come to friends and to meet her.
Mm, I'm gonna check her number after the meeting.
And whenever we do a product involvement, I always show it to her, so I see how she uses the product and the functionality. And it's one of my challenges to make sure that she really feel comfortable using the product. And yeah, this is the kind of way we are trying to use and improve our product by being in our customers' shoes and trying to see that this becomes very simple for them to use. But that's not easy at all, and it takes much more time than anybody would think, I think.
Definitely. And how can independent store, for example, big customers like Carrefour and all these big guys, they have teams that can be on charge of seeking where they have to go and where they have to be. But how can independent stores know which are the right channels to be?
It's difficult. And this is, yeah, you point out one thing that is very important is that we think that if you are an independent store, knowing what to do on the internet to grow your business is very difficult because it's changing so fast. There are so many things that you can do. I mean, you can create a website, you can subscribe to a paid directory, you can do Google ads, Instagram ads, Facebook ads, be visible on several free directory. Well, there are many things to do, and this is the answer we are trying to bring on the table. Whenever we do prospection and we call them, we are telling them, look, it's complicated. We know that, you know that, and we are trying to bring you an answer. We are trying to bring you one platform, and you just use it, and it solves most of the issue that needs to be solved in order to grow your business. It won't do everything, but it won't do the main thing to grow your business. And yeah, but that's tricky to know.
Yeah, because I always think about it. Actually, I have some friends that have a business, and I think I'm gonna tell them to check Localoo, guys, because I think that you guys can help them.
Yeah, and now we are salespeople in Spain, so
That's
they are
true.
welcome to call us.
I'll do. I'll give them the details of you guys.
Thanks.
Um, just to go ending, because I could be like talking to you like for hours, but then people maybe get bored. So, what are the hidden benefits of visibility and reputation? I mean, of course, you can see people can see that you're good, or there are other people cares about you. But what are the hidden treasures? The things that you cannot see at the first sight?
I
I mean,
think
for example, of course, they can help you increasing your traffic, but there's something more behind that.
yeah, people just don't realize sometimes that the power of being online. Now people, whenever you see them in the street, they all are with their phones. They are not looking for stores like that. They are just online, and it's just the fact that people now look for stores online, not in the street most of the time. And what we have seen is that people that really care about their visibility and their reputation online, they grew their business like hell. Like we have one client, for example. We like to use that example, but he is an hairdresser in a city in France named Limoges. I think there are maybe, I don't know, 50,000 people living in that city. And he started to work with us, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, something like that. And he used one of our functionality, which is Review Booster, to collect more positive reviews on your Google My Business listing by, you ask happy clients their phone number, you put it on the Partoo app, and it sends the client a text message to ask him to leave a review. And he started using that, and he used that very well. And in a few months, he collected hundreds of reviews. And now, whenever you are looking for hairdresser in Limoges, it just pop up as a first result before any chain like Franck Provost, Camille Alban. Those are chains with hundreds of hairdressers. And in a year, I think he grew his business by 40% of revenues, and it's still continuing like that. We have also restaurant owners that decided to open a new restaurant because the delivery part of his pizza just grew very well. Uh, Whenever you use that well and you really take advantage of that, which most of the stores don't do right now. So this is also as well why this is an opportunity. It can be really changing life things for your business. Like you could grow it like you would not think about it. If you have a lot of positive review, especially a lot of positive reviews, fresh reviews, and you take the time to answer to them, the impact can be just tremendous.
That's great. So, which was your last review?
Oh, I did one this morning. This morning because I visited one client, and he does he's selling Spanish food, which is funny, in Paris, and he opened his business. I think it was 8 months ago, and very 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 early subscribed to Partoo. And well, I decided sometimes, I visit independent stores that use Partoo once every month approximately to know what is their challenge, how they like the product, what they would expect us to do after in the next months, etc. And we had a very good moment. And he made us test some things. So at the end, I just left him a good review.
Nice. So how would you rate this review? This interview?
Well, it was a 5-star. I will give a 5-star for sure.
Thank you very much. So thank you very much for your time, Thibault. I hope to see you sometime in digital one-to-one events. We have one coming, so maybe we see each other there.
Yeah, sure.
So nice meeting you, and thank you very much for your time. It was really a nice interview. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Have a good day. Thank you.